What's up, guys? This is Rise and welcome to another video. It is time for the Go Battle League's new rotation, the Galar Cup Great League Edition. We've seen the Galar Cup in the Ultra League before. It is now time for the Great League, a slightly restricted meta where you're going to see a lot of the same picks from the normal Open Great League, but some are not going to be in the meta, which opens the way for some others. So you're going to see a lot of dark poison types and ghost types as well in this cup. And without further ado, here we go. Just Dirk, thank you, my friend, for the cool submission. The team features Dusknoir, Shadow Galarian Weezing, and Mandibuzz. Dusknoir, of course, got that buff to Astonish like many other ghost types. Hits super hard now, and the great thing with Dusknoir is now it has a bait move with Shadow Punch. Are they going for the cheap Shadow Punch? Are they going for the devastating Shadow Ball? That's the tricky thing when you're facing a Dusknoir. You're going to have to watch out for. But here we go. Off the bat, Dusknoir into a Shadow Abomasnow. And let's see how bulky is this Dusknoir. It's going to take the Weather Ball fairly well. It's got a little bit of bulk to it as a ghost type. A lot of ghost types are high attack, low defense, but Dusknoir has a little bit of bulk to it. Going to grab a shield with that Shadow Punch. Gets there quite quickly, but not as quick as Abomasnow. Getting to this next Weather Ball, we're going to see Dirk put up a Protect Shield, wants to get off this Shadow Punch before going down. If his opponent shields, he may pivot out, but no, his opponent's going to let it go down. Going to come in with Jelly and go for the farm down, but Dusknoir is going to get off a Parting Shadow Punch, and it's caught on the Drapia. Nice play, but here's the thing. You know there's a Jelly, so you simply come in with Weezing, and you're going to have a Mandibuzz waiting for that Jellicent in a terrific matchup. Not going to bother shielding the Aqua Tail here. I think all you really need to do is just try and chip away at this Drapion. You land the Brutal Swing. Not going to fall for the CMP. I think either makes sense. Yeah, shield, don't shield. I think either makes sense here. Just make sure you get off the Brutal Swing before the next Aqua Tail. And they catch, but like, that's fine. They're catching a super effective Brutal Swing. Totally cool. Gets off another Brutal Swing anyway. So this is smooth sailing, it looks like. Drapion does nearly have an Aqua Tail, but this looks really good. Goes for the Flex catch. But yeah, just going to come in Weezing to force them to expend energy here. And then Mandibuzz is so dang bulky, it's going to be able to close out this game. Jelly doesn't even get off another move. And poor little Drapion would need about, what, 6 Aqua Tails to knock out Mandibuzz from that health. GG. Ninetales. Okay, so it's a good thing that Mandibuzz is avoiding this Ninetales. Pretty neutral matchup here, right? Both Pokemon dishing out neutral damage to one another. Dusknoir going to build up some energy here. In comes Drifloon. Interesting. I mean, Drifloon's not going to want to eat this super effective ghost damage, so puts up the Protect Shield. In comes Mandibuzz. Drifloon going to fire off the Icy Wind, but you're going to see just how bulky Mandibuzz is here. Super effective Icy Wind. Doesn't even do that much. Want to make sure you get off that Dark Pulse before the next Icy Wind. I think Drifloon is 1 away, if I'm not mistaken, from the next Icy, so not going to CMP here. Going to build up some extra energy. After these debuffs, a Dark Pulse won't quite knock out the Drifloon. And nice patience by Dirk. Wanted to see maybe if he could bank the energy and pivot out, but gonna have to fire the Aerial Ace to get out of here. Store the energy. Unfortunately, Ninetales will get off a move. So gonna be forced to put up a Protect Shield. And gonna get off the Shadow Punch. I like this. Put the pressure on the Ninetales. Dusknoir throwing the punch. Gets the Astonish down. Drifloon comes back. Drifloon gets an Astonish down. Do you fire the Dark Pulse or do you anticipate the catch? Let's see. Fires it right away. No messing about. Dark Pulse coming through. Knocks out Drift. Oh, not a good matchup, but Golurk is so glassy that this Brutal Swing will deal a lot of damage. It's going to put it super low, but not quite low enough. But here's the thing. One Snarl? Is one Snarl enough here? You got a shield. You got a shield. One Snarl is not enough. Is there any world where Mandy lives the Shadow Punch? No, what a tough loss. What a tough loss. I think that's That's a tough one because I think if we threw on proper timing with Weezing, we would have got one more Fairy Wind. So brutal, pun intended, loss with the brutal swing there. But a very close game. And, oh, that was a non-shadow Golurk, right? So that's why the Golurk was actually able to survive there. That worked out for the opponent. But here we go. Takes the brutal swing, lands the Shadow Ball. Unfortunately, Weezing just barely hangs on. Once again, the non-shadow Pokemon hanging on with 1 HP. Able to get off a parting charge attack here against this Shadow Kanto Ninetales. Does some valuable chip damage. Look how low this Dusknoir got the second Pokemon. I like coming in here with Mandibuzz. Going to take this. Hopefully it's not an overheat. Just a Weather Ball. Nice. Gonna fire off the Aerial Ace right away. It's caught by Gastrodon, but honestly, this is fine. Because this is where you kind of need to be. So if the opponent had stayed in, this would have been really difficult to overcome. But now we have a fighting chance. Because Mandibuzz is going to really enjoy this matchup against Gastrodon. Dark Pulse coming through. Going to grab a shield. Gastrodon fairly quick to these body slams. Mud Slap is a quick energy generation attack now. Body Slam coming through. Gonna fire off another Dark Pulse. Still not quite in Body Slam range, I don't think. But you're getting close. Oh, catches the Body Slam. Wow, interesting play. Onto Wheezy. I guess didn't feel like Mandy would live, perhaps. Gonna get off the Brutal Swing here. This will probably draw the final Protect Shield. Unless they put it all on Ninetales. They put it all on Ninetales. Interesting. But you have the Aerial Ace loaded, so I think this should secure the game. You get off the Brutal Swing. You simply just need to CMP with the Aerial Ace. And as long as you don't lag, you should be chilling. Come on, game. There we go. We CMP. We put up the Protect Shield. And Mandibuzz is going to close out here. Mandibuzz has been a very strong Pokemon in the Go Battle League for many consecutive seasons now and continues to be so. Very nicely done. On to the next one. Approaching that veteran rank. Here we go. Dusknoir into another Shadow Canine. This one opting for Ember as opposed to Fire Spin. Ember has the advantage of being a 2-turn fast attack, so a little bit easier to time. Fire Spin, I think, since it got buffed, probably, like, statistically would be a little bit better, I would think. But a little bit more awkward, perhaps, for some people with that 3-turn timing. Just Dirk going for the Shadow Punch. Gets both shields already. And his opponent going to knock out the Dusknoir here. Just going to take the shield advantage. Going to come in Mandy. And going to just absorb this, perhaps. Go for maybe a big Snarl down. Set up Weezing for the shield advantage. Oh, interesting. Interesting swap to come in with Araquanid here. I mean, Araquanid's not going to enjoy this matchup. These Aerial Aces are going to add up. Super effective. It's not the strongest move, of course, but super effective against that bug typing. Triple Aerial Ace looks like it's almost enough. They're going to get off an attack here, but Mandibuzz should probably live anything, even a Bug Buzz. Barely lives the Bug Buzz. Wow. Maybe even Undercharge. Oh, I love this. I love this play. Undercharge. You know the slow energy generation of Araquanid. You honestly don't even need to shield, but I guess you want to respect like a potential Synchronoise or something crazy. But now you're chilling. Play Rough will take out like probably 2 Shadow Glades. And then just going to get to a Brutal Swing. There we go. G-Weezy looking mean. We've done a few G-Weezy videos now, and look at that. Full sweep of the team. G-Weezy up a shield. He's stealing the show from Dusknoir, but Dusknoir was able to grab that shield advantage in the lead and allow the back line to do some work, so that was a full team effort there. Dusknoir into another G-Weezy, shiny. It's a cool little animation with like the smoke for Galarian Weezing. Gonna fire off a Brutal Swing. Once again, Decent amount of bulk for Dusknoir, actually able to tank it. Tried to go for a catch, but unable to. Brutal Swing going to get shielded here, building up a ton of energy. Going for the Shadow Punch. I could see the opponent potentially calling this, since they already got a shield advantage. No, they actually... Oh, I don't know if I love this play, because if they have Play Rough, this is kind of bad. Oh my god, Sludge, okay, interesting. Turtonator, what is this? What is this spice? Opponent's trying to send in Rise some spicy Saturday content. Shiny Turtonator, this is cool. Dragon Pulse, Overheat, right? They go for the Dragon Pulse, does some solid damage. Gonna fire after 3 Snarls for proper timing, nice. Unfortunately, I don't think it's quite gonna knock out the Turtonator here. Dark Pulse, oh, grabs a shield though. And then I like this, get off this next Dark Pulse, gonna put this Turtonator really low. They're probably going to have to fire off an attack, yeah. Oh, they got greedy. They tried to incinerate down, and the Snarl knocked them out first. In comes Clefable. This is great for Weezing, especially if there's no Meteor Mash. And the fact that they swapped tells you that there probably is no Meteor Mash. Going for the Play Rough, even though it's resisted, this should be enough to knock out. It's a hard-hitting move. Maybe Respect, just in case they are running Meteor Mash. But just a Swift. Also, yeah, probably just a Swift, right? Moonblast, okay. That did a lot, despite being resisted. Play Rough coming through. This will put Clefable really low. I think you have some energy on Dusknoir, but not going to bother with it. Just going to Fairy Wind down. G to the G. And look at that. 4-1 set, very nicely done. Cranidos as the reward, 23-34. Let's go, baby. GBL Tombstone. Tombstone, also a great Rod Wave song. Shiny Toxapex, let's go, dude. Look at all these shiny Pokemon. Clefable swap met by Weezing. The off chance they're running Meteor Mash is kind of scary, but standard moveset for Clefable these days is, of course, Swift and Moonblast. I am actually shocked that Clefable just won CMP. Is that normal? I am going to look at PvPoke on the side. I would have thought Weezing would definitely win this CMP. But what do I know? Weezing, Galarian, Clefable. Yeah, so typically Weezing has a higher attack, so it must be a high attack Clefable or a low attack Weezing. Shiny Mandy on Shiny Mandy. Now, or Shiny Mandy on Mandy. Now, whenever you have a Mandibuzz mirror match, some light bulb has to go off in your head saying, okay, there's a possibility this game could go to timeout. So there is a real possibility you may want to keep both Pokemon around if possible. Because if you put yourself in a situation where your opponent has like 2 super low Pokemon and then you still have a super healthy Pokemon where you would win, but the timer goes, the person with 2 Pokemon is going to win at the timer. So there's got to be a light bulb going off here. Okay, if this game goes to timeout, I want to make sure I keep both of my Pokemon around if possible. So many Aerial Aces firing off. I remember in the main series, right? Aerial Ace is a move that like never misses. 100% accuracy. Dude, imagine how tilting that would be if moves like missed in PvP. Oh, that'd be so frustrating. This is a little bit awkward, especially if the opponent banked a move. Because imagine if they can like... Well, I don't know if Tox is actually even going to get to 2 moves here. I like the no shield by Dirk. I like the no shield. That way you definitely are going to be able to save a shield for the Mandibuzz. We're no shielding again. This seems a little bit risky. This seems a little bit risky, Dirk. Little bit risky. Shadow Punch. Opponent going to go for the Snarl down. We're going to grab a shield here. And now we just swap. And now we have 2 Pokemon. We've got an Aerial Ace already. We still have 2 shields. No way the opponent could get to 3 Aerial Aces before we get to our next Aerial Ace. So this should be smooth sailing. We're finally using our shields. We might be like just barely out of Aerial Ace range as well. Flapping away. Mandibuzz is Flappy Bird. Oh, what do you know? Timer was about to come up. Rise may know a thing or two, comments. Rise may know a thing or two. I know Esmeralda in the comments. Yeah, Rise. Timer never even came up. Then, right at the end, 11, 10, backspace, delete, delete. Rise was right. Take that, Esmeralda. Just kidding. Dusknoir versus Runerigus. What is on my screen? Runerigus, Cofagrigus together? That's kind of cool, actually. But this is terrible for Cofagrigus. Absolutely walled by Mandibuzz. Cofagrigus is generally not a safe swap because it gets absolutely walled by Dark-type Pokemon. Usually you want to use, like, something like a Sableye, right? Or a Drapion. I don't know. And then you set up the Cofagrigus in the back with, like, some sort of double ghost line. In comes Wims. Unfortunately, Wims is not going to appreciate these Aerial Aces. This is a Fairy type that does not wall the Mandibuzz. As a matter of fact, Mandibuzz can make this very uncomfortable for Wims. I think even on like even shields and energy. Because look at that. The Aerial Ace like almost two-shots Whimsicott. It's pretty frail. Dude, this poor Wims is getting absolutely destroyed. Shadow Punch knocks it out before it even gets a move off. Yeah, I don't know if that opponent's team was structured the best. Was that ABA Ghost with a Whimsicott? What was that team? I don't know. No judgment. I run some pretty crazy teams myself sometimes. Sometimes I lock in a team and I'm like, oh, I instant lose to this. So it happens. Whoa. Speaking of not so safe swaps, Zweilous met by this Galarian Weezing. I like that we fire off the Brutal Swing before a second Body Slam gets through. We don't want to go down a shield if we can help it. Very nice. Really nice looking situation here. I mean, we're going to get off multiple Brutal Swings before going down. Potentially 3 Brutal Swings here, I could see. Get the Toxapex below half health to set up our Dusknoir, and then we still have our Mandibuzz, of course. Toxapex will get a nice farm down, but we've seen Brine does not do that much to Dusknoir. So this seems to be like a Toxapex double Dark line, potentially, or double Dragon, maybe. Could it be like a Guzzlord in back? Is that possible? Guzzy Wuzzy was a bear. No, it's a Goodra. Okay. Goodra with like a slight advantage here against Mandy, but honestly, this is pretty neutral because like Mandy is just so bulky that, and the Thunder Punch is non-stab. It's not that strong of a move. Mandy does fine here. So yeah, Goodra has the super effective Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch, it's whatevs. Aerial Ace connects. And might want to go for the Dark Pulse now because Aerial Ace wouldn't be quite enough. Thunder Punch connects. Dark Pulse is caught, but Dusknoir is still super healthy. I don't think Toxapex has much energy because it expended a Brine on Dusknoir, and now you can just get to double Shadow Punch. So this game looks to be pretty comfortable, I believe. I don't think Goodra has enough energy to get to 2 moves here. So the opponent's just going to concede. Tough line for the opponent. Perhaps if they had swapped Goodra instead of Zweilous, they actually would have had a better shot, right? Because if Goodra lures out the Weezing, maybe it's a little bit less hard of a punish. And then Zweilous would have done a little bit better resisting the Snarls against the Mandibuzz. So maybe if they had swapped Goodra, they actually would have had a chance in that game. Anyway, Gastrodon swap met by Mr. Mandibuzz. Mandy loves this matchup. He loves looking down on Gastrodon. Mandibuzz. Just such a powerhouse in the sky. You know, I've seen some hot takes recently. I've seen Inadequance World Championship runner-up from this past season. One of my friends, he said he doesn't think Mandibuzz is very good right now in the like play Pokemon meta. He thinks it's kind of overrated. Interesting take from Inadequance. I guess, I don't know. I guess it's because it like, although it's very bulky, it doesn't really like, it doesn't have much pressure, right? So things like Feraligatr, even though they theoretically are at a disadvantage with the resisted Shadow Claws in that matchup, like Feraligatr can still beat Mandibuzz with like just its pressure. It's kind of weird. But anyway, G-Weezy here against Drifblim. Going for the Brutal Swing here. This will threaten some super effective damage to Drift Money. Brutal Swing, bang. Some sizable damage. Drifblim does get a nice farm down though, so this is a little bit scary. Do you come in with Mandy, which will take super effective from the Icy Wind? You do. I think you barely live, but Dirk's not going to risk it. He's going to shield. And going to get off the Aerial Ace, which is caught by Ninetales, Charmtails. But you kind of had to get rid of it anyway, and you have the double punch here. And Dusknoir, I would presume, wins CMP over Drifblim. Let me fact check myself, actually. Let me fact check myself, because some of these new CMPs, I'm not 100% on. Oh, it's actually, they actually have the exact same base attack, so that is completely IV dependent who would win CMP Dusknoir versus Drifblim. Interesting. Yo, Togetic. Sorry, that was kind of loud. Togetic. I got excited. I'm a Togetic fan. I'm running it currently in a like a restricted format tournament. It's been a lot of fun until Palasha just destroyed me recently. Anyway, Shadow Ball takes out Togetic. Bye, Togetic. Was good seeing you briefly. We get off the Shadow Punch. This will probably draw a shield. Do we pivot out here? No. Oh, because we actually reach another, so we actually force him to throw. Very nice. I was afraid we were just going to get farmed down before getting to another, but we force him to throw, so that's beautiful. Weezing gets to the Brutal Swing before they get to Avalanche. Perfect. Brutal Swing draws the final Protect Shield. They catch on Quag, but this should be fine. Maybe even consider banking a Brutal Swing here. Love it. And we get the catch in the process. Best case scenario, probably an Aqua Tail. And this should just be game over. Don't have to do anything fancy at this point. Just get rid of the Quag. Can even do one Snarl after this. Don't even need to shield with Stone Edge, to be honest. But gonna do it just to just for kicks and giggles, because Stone Edge wouldn't quite knock out from there. But Dark Pulse, I think, should just about knock out Quag from this range. Then you force Frost to throw energy, and Mandy's so crazy that Mandy's actually going to live this and get to the Dark Pulse. Mandy is so crazy bulky. The Umbreon of the skies, some people call it. Mandy flaps away, and it gets the win. A cool team here from Just Dirk. Thank you, my man, for the submission. Very impressive 2 sets there. I think that was a 9-1 run, and I feel like all 3 Pokemon really played a pivotal role in the team. It was a true team effort with that squad there. All 3 Pokemon with some noticeable great plays and great games within those 2 sets and series. So if you guys enjoyed this content, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're new around here, comment down below. All comments are appreciated. And all of that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.